The focus switches to Mrs. Lewis in chapter 1605, who is under a lot of stress and frustration as a result of her son, Duncan's romantic preferences. She recently found out that Duncan preferred Liberty, a divorced mother of one, over Lily, a lady she likes. Mrs. Lewis is upset and disappointed after learning this information. Mrs. Lewis tells her husband, Mr. Lewis, that she is unhappy with Duncan's decisions. She expresses her annoyance by accusing him of spoiling their son and placing the blame for Duncan's disobedience on him. However, Mr. Lewis adopts a more relaxed stance, arguing that because Duncan is an adult, he cannot be controlled the same way he could have when he was younger. He tells Mrs. Lewis that forcing Duncan into a relationship with someone he does not love would be pointless because, in the end, Duncan's romantic decisions are his own. Mrs. Lewis disagrees with Duncan's liking for Liberty, since she thinks Liberty is an inappropriate match for her son. She blames Liberty for having a child and being divorced, contrasting it with Lily, whom she believes would make a better fit. She is especially unhappy because she set up Duncan on a blind date in an effort to get him to focus on someone more respectable rather than Liberty. However, Duncan's defiance of her requests just makes her angrier. Duncan should be allowed to make his own choices in issues of the heart. Mr. Lewis counsels his wife in an effort to soothe her. He tells her that her meddling might only fuel their son's hatred. Mrs. Lewis is still quite upset and disagrees with Duncan's decisions, despite Mr. Lewis's logical advice. The chapter sheds light on the complicated family dynamics of the Lewises while emphasizing the generational divide between the parents and the adult children. Duncan is determined to follow his heart despite the attempts of Mrs. Lewis to restrict his love life out of concern for his well being. The end goal of the efforts of Mr. Lewis to mediate between his wife and son is to support Duncan's right to select his own companion. The obstacles and disputes that might develop within a family when adult children choose romantic partners who do not meet their parents' expectations are generally discussed in this chapter. It portrays a recurring theme of generational tension and divergent viewpoints on love and relationships while illuminating the conflict between parental care and the desire for autonomy and self determination.